asking me.
Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming Podcast, episode 28. And today is another fantastic day in Southern California, IA. A little bit chilly, but it's pretty sunny out here. And it's a good day because I didn't get my PlayStation sold by my wife because I told her it was a fan. And, I got my boys with me, Mark and Ray, as always. And, let's talk about our week. How's everything been going with you guys? What have you guys been getting into?
So my week has been pretty good. One games that I've been playing recently is my brother got a Super NES Classic. So I know they released a while ago, but he's been playing it with his coworkers, and he ended up buying one for himself. So over the past week or so, when I've been going to my parents' house, he always wants to play Mario Kart, Street Fighter. So I've been playing the OG games.
That's fun.
And it actually. So the Super NES Classic comes with 20 games.
Okay.
It comes with a couple of exclusives that the U.S. never
It's
got.
the
That's
console,
the mini
right?
one, right?
It's the mini one, and
Okay.
it's powered off a micro USB cable,
Oh, wow.
which is crazy.
That is weird.
So it's this big, comes with 20 games.
And you can't add new games onto it.
So you can mod and add 700.
Mod and add, okay.
Yeah, so you can easily just
Hack it.
add additional games to
see.
it. There's a lot of services that'll do it for $20, or you can just watch the tutorial and do it yourself.
Wow, $20 service. That's
It's not
cool
bad.
for 700 games.
Yeah, so it's pretty awesome, but it comes with some exclusive games out of the box that we never got, like some
What?
Star Fox.
Oh, that you never got.
that the U.S. never got.
Oh.
Oh, the U.S.
So
never
it
got
co- It comes with one or two Star Fox games
Star Fox 1, Star Fox 2? Yeah.
that the Super Nintendo never got in the U.S. Internationally, like in Japan, they did get it, but we never got it. So
Okay.
that's kind of cool. It does come with something that you may have missed as a kid. And then it has all of your favorites. Your Super Mario's. It has a Super Mario RPG, which is awesome. It has a Street Fighter 2,
Mm-hmm.
the Championship Edition. And then it has Mario Kart, Kirby, Donkey Kong, which is my brother's favorite. For $80, it comes with a lot of decent games.
You guys have Switches, right?
Yeah.
You know that Nintendo Online,
Yeah, it has
it's like
all
$35 for a year for the
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Has all those games. Like, I don't think it doesn't have Street Fighter though.
So they have Mario Kart now. I thought it was just NES
Mario
games.
Kart's on there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mario
yeah,
Kart's
I
on
have
there. The
so-
original Mario Kart. Yeah.
I have the subscription, and I used to play the NES games like
Yeah.
the OG, Zelda, the Links.
Yeah, they
the
added a
Zelda
whole
games.
bunch of Super NES games on
Nice.
there. Although and the Star Fox 1, Star Fox 2 is on there.
You
but
talking
I-
about the online?
Yeah, Nintendo Online.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like it's a great service for the whole year. You're paying like what, $20 for like the whole year,
Yeah,
or if you do the family pack.
I have the family pack.
Yeah,
on
because you guys
35.
all split it with your family members or whatever, and that's a great service, man. For $35,
Yeah.
like that's killer service. That's like a decent. It's not Game Pass, but it's their version of Game Pass, and
Oh,
it's
it
very
is something.
affordable.
For sure.
And there's lots of great games on there, like the Link, Zelda,
Yeah.
like
So
all
it
the
pretty
Mario's,
much, it
Donkey
pretty much
Kongs.
has all those
Yeah.
games on there. It comes with 2 controllers that are they feel like the OG controllers.
Mm-hmm.
And the footprint in the console is just tiny. It's
Yeah.
That is cool.
You almost forget it's there.
Yeah, that's cool.
it's crazy. So
That's cool. Yeah.
So it was just cool playing some of those nostalgic games. I was getting my butt beat by my brother in Street Fighter. So one game that I did buy was the Anniversary Collection for the PS4
Okay.
because I wanted to because I have fight sticks that I that I played on the.
Oh, so you got Street
360.
Fighter Anniversary Collection?
Yeah, so I bought that.
Nice.
So I'm waiting for it to come in the mail so I can practice my Street Fighter 2.
So you got the
with
old
my brother.
school, the old school AB button and joystick.
Yeah,
Those type of controllers?
Yeah, so I have fight sticks.
Like
Oh,
this,
okay,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So I have 2 fight sticks, and then I modded the buttons so they have real like Sunwell arcade buttons and not just some janky buttons.
Oh,
Wow,
okay.
you got a legit.
So I bought
legitimate
these.
stick.
I got 2 of these like a couple years ago.
He's running competitions that we
But
don't
they
know
they
about,
work
man.
on everything.
Yeah,
No,
Underground Fighter
I
here.
used to use these for like Metal Slug and just arcade games.
Okay.
All right.
But they work great for fighting games, obviously, but just mainly for like Metal Slug and things like that. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this past week, and Shadowlands, of course.
Of course.
I
throw
can't
that in, yeah.
forget that. So, the raid comes out next week. So
Are you ready for it already?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Damn. Okay.
so the raid.
Oh, you're already geared enough for it, huh?
Yeah, I'm fully mythic geared.
Mythic?
You have a bunch of friends that play, right? That's why you guys get through those things.
I have one friend that plays.
So how do you do Mythic? Then you just find a group?
Just find a group.
You're tanking?
The stuff
I'm a
is just
hunter.
out there,
Oh,
man.
you're a hunter.
You just find it on the map. You just run to the Mythic Gear, you grab it, put it on.
Yeah.
Man. It's like a dime a dozen, man.
Yep. I click add to cart, check out. Boom.
Yeah, check out. No.
But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. So what about you guys? What you guys been up to?
So I've had an interesting week. So I guess I'll use this opportunity to explain what happened with my Series X. So I opened up my Series X.
Mhm.
You guys haven't seen that video yet, but you'll see that soon, the box opening for the Xbox Series X. And I started to play on it. The first thing I did, of course, was download the games that I wanted to play, right?
Yeah.
And then once I did that the first night. I just downloaded everything. The next day, I turned it on, and I just started playing Destiny 2 because I wanted to see how that looked. I wanted to see how the load times were. One thing I'll say, man, is the thing is fast and snappy. Like, literally everything you do is, like, really fast.
Okay.
Like, everything. When you're moving from menu to menu or whatever you're doing, it's like a blaze.
I just
like-
can't wait for like when you press the menu button to see your gear that it just comes up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
I
looking
I
forward
can't
to.
even remember now if it was like that. I think it was pretty much like that.
No, but it takes a minute for it to load in. Like you'll
Yeah.
pop it up and then it'll load for a second before it shows you all your gear.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how fast it was. It still takes a minute on the X,
Does
the
it?
videos you've seen.
No,
I don't remember it taking a minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're just talking
It's
about the
just-
Xbox One.
Oh, the Xbox
yeah,
One.
I'm talking
Yeah, I'm
about
talking about the
the-
Series X. It
right.
was like pretty instantaneous. Everything I did, even in Destiny, was like instantaneous.
Mm.
It felt really good, you know. And so that was like Sunday morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was playing that because we opened it Saturday. Saturday night, I did all the downloading. Sunday morning, I really started to play. And I was playing it for a minute. I was playing Destiny 2 for a good minute. And then my wife came home with groceries. And so I paused to go help bring some of the groceries in and put those away. I come back, and it's off. It just shut off. You know, we all do that. You pause a minute to go to get
Yeah, for
something.
sure,
You come
for
back
sure.
in, you know?
Yeah.
It might have been 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes I left it
So
there.
it wasn't like it went to sleep. Like
It
really
didn't go to
Yeah.
rest mode, did it?
No, I checked my rest mode time. I had it at like 1 or 2 hours, you know, and it just shut off on me. And so I was like, the heck is this? So I tried to turn it back on, and it wouldn't turn on.
Okay.
Like it would go, you know, it'd make the little sound.
Yeah.
And then power down.
Damn.
And I was like, what's going on here? So I was like feeling it. And I was like, did it overheat or what? I mean, like, this is nothing. I spent
Is that
maybe
like a-
2 hours at most playing this.
Is
Huh?
there like a reset button on the console or anything like that?
Well, one person said to hold the button for longer.
Yeah.
So I tried a different outlet. Still wouldn't fire up. Did the same exact thing. I let it sit for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, just didn't even do it. I put it like right in the middle of my room.
To see if it
Like,
was
so next to
overheating or something?
nothing, right in the middle of my room to see if it overheated or something like that, you know, let it just cool down. Still wouldn't turn on. I took it to a different television, into a different room, tried it in there, still wouldn't turn on. I tried to press the button 3 times, hold the button for like a few seconds, 3 seconds, not 3 times, but
Yeah.
3 seconds, and it made the sound of like reset, still wouldn't turn on.
Damn.
I let it sit the rest of the day. Like, I just walked away from it. I pressed it again, still wouldn't turn on. I was like, okay, nope, this thing is definitely bricked. Like, it's sat for like hours now. It's completely 100% cool. This thing is bricked.
Okay, question though. Did you have a disc inside?
No,
Okay, so you were just going off a Game Pass?
just Game Pass.
Okay.
Yeah, no disc.
Alright.
I don't even own the Series X disc. Like I said before, the S didn't matter to me because I could never imagine myself ever buying
Buying
a
a
disc for
game.
my
Yeah.
Series
Yeah,
X.
yeah.
I would only ever use it as a Game Pass machine.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, this thing is bricked. It's toast, you know?
Damn.
So I went online. I went on my Microsoft account, opened up a service ticket. They said they approved it because it's brand new, you know, so I'm totally within warranty. They sent me the shipping label. I slapped the shipping label on that thing, and I shipped it off to Microsoft. That was probably Monday. I did that. I shipped it out Monday. It arrived at their facilities on, I think, Wednesday. And then on Friday, it just like vanished. The service thing vanished, and they said that they were shipping it back to me. And I didn't know what that meant. They didn't tell me what they did. So I couldn't, because on my Microsoft account, it just disappeared. Like the service order disappeared. The little tracker system they had to show you where it was at the certain stages was gone.
Yeah.
It just said device is fine. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what did they do?
So do you think
So-
they're trying to hide it because they don't want like stuff?
Well,
information
this
like
is
that
what I
leaking
started.
out or
I
what?
digged a little deeper. I went back to my original email that I got for the the service order,
Yeah.
and it showed my serial number. I went to my Microsoft account where it said my Series X was perfectly fine, completely different serial number. So I think that they shipped me out.
A
They're
new
shipping
one.
out a brand new Series X is what I'm assuming happened.
Okay.
Yeah, which we'll see here. I'm supposed to supposedly FedEx says I'll be in my house by Monday. So supposedly we will see if I got a brand new Series X or if they fix it and I changed my serial number for some reason. But it's a completely different serial number.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they didn't
Dang,
even tell
dude.
me that. Like,
Yeah.
They didn't give me an email saying sorry
didn't
we
tell
couldn't
you,
deduce.
no
and-
transparency or
yeah,
nothing?
they didn't tell me what they did. They didn't tell me that they fixed it or didn't fix it, or if they weren't able to fix it, we're sending you a new console. It just ended and they shipped something to me.
Wow. That's crazy. So basically, like everything possible that's could be bad has been happening.
Yeah,
so
everything
far.
possible that could
Murphy's
happen
Law.
bad to me has happened to me.
Yeah, because
Right.
you wait outside of GameStop for almost 2 days,
Yep.
and then you finally get inside, and then they go, "Hey, we don't got them in, but we'll get you later." So you don't have
So
a
we get an
PlayStation
Xbox.
5 in hand for that. You get an Xbox, and then that thing tanks on you, and you have to send that back. How many hours did you get to play on it at least?
The 2 hours,
2 hours.
Just the
Destiny.
2?
Yeah, just a couple hours I played Destiny and I think bricked.
It's
That
because you
quick.
played Destiny, man. They're like, no, play Ori and the Wisp.
I know, right?
Play Gears.
But I mean, Destiny's the
Gears
one you.
5.
I know. I was like, man, I should have played Gears 5, a game I haven't played yet, right?
Okay, that's been out for like 3 years.
So what I had to do was I had to go back into my living room, pull my old 1X off the entertainment center.
Good thing you didn't sell it.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
sell it because I moved it back out to the living room for my wife, so because that plays our 4K movies and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, sorry, I got to hijack this thing again. I mean, it's literally the only console I have because I
Yeah.
already sold my
'Cause you already did
PS4
your
Pro,
PS4, yeah.
and I got rid of the Series X. I had like literally nothing in my room to play, So I went back out there. I grabbed the 1X, and I did find a little bit of time this week to start and fire up Celeste. So
Celeste, okay.
Celeste is the new one that came out. And just so you all know, Control just dropped for the Game Pass as well. You guys heard about that game, Control?
That's the woman, right? With
That's
like,
the woman with the telekinesis
powers.
powers. It was a
Right.
very highly rated game.
Is it indie?
No, it's a AAA game.
Whoa.
Just
We
released.
just haven't heard much about it.
Oh, so it
because
just
it's on the
released and it
Xbox.
dropped on.
Well,
Game
no,
Pass.
it released a little while ago, but it's released on
Ah,
Game Pass. So
nice.
you can actually download that full game on Game Pass, which is like super huge.
Have you
Nice.
checked that out?
No, I haven't played it yet
Okay.
because
I'm gonna download
I
that
downloaded Celeste first.
Right.
And Celeste is dope. I got to a part I just don't know how to get past this. I'm having to find a video to
Okay.
see what I have to do.
And
But,
Celeste was made by who?
one dude, I think. It was
That was
made
an
by
indie,
one
right?
dude. That was an indie,
Uh-huh.
and that was like up for Game of the Year last year.
Okay.
Everyone was raving about Celeste. Basically, it's just like a platformer, a jumping platformer,
Okay.
but you get multiple turns, right? You just kind of refresh,
Right.
multiple platformer. You cling on to things, you jump off the things, you jump into each platform. You're trying to climb the mountain,
Right.
and really cool game. Great indie graphics, interesting character, interesting storyline. The platforming is really fun. I'm a little. I don't know if I would have. I think I would have made some different decisions on the button presses for certain mechanics.
Yeah.
Like when
Can't
you
change the layout?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked if I could change the layout or not, but I would have made some different decisions. I think if I was developing that game.
Yeah.
But it works. It works fine. Like it gets the job done. So I'd recommend that game. To me, it's not like this masterpiece that everyone, in my opinion, everyone claimed that it was.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit irritating to me because it can be very difficult. Those kind of games like drive me at the wall. I don't necessarily find those kind of games like that fun, but it's very well done and enjoyable. So I still would recommend it. But it's not like, oh man, you got to go out and play this, like I said with Moonlighter,
Right,
or like
right.
Hades. Like you got to play this. It's not quite that.
Yeah,
where
which Moonlighter
that-
was a good recommendation.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
fun
quite
with
at
one
that for
from
me.
time.
It's a good game. Like if it's your kind of game, I recommend trying it. But I would not put my 100% stamp. You got to download this and try it now. So that's been my week. What about you, Ali?
That's a busy week, dude.
Yeah,
It's a
dude,
busy
it's
week.
a crazy
but,
week.
Hey, but don't say everything went wrong, because your PlayStation didn't brick.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
PS5.
He hasn't turned
Not
it on.
yet.
PS5 didn't brick. All right.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
not to mention that stinking PS5 from Costco took 3 weeks to get to my house.
That took forever.
I ordered
to
that
get.
on launch day.
Yeah, but it came.
It came,
Could have been
but
worse.
3 weeks.
At least you
Oh
got
my
it, though, right?
gosh,
You
man.
got
You're
it,
in a
man.
better
You
position
got
than
one.
the rest of us.
Yeah, I
but
mean, I
yeah.
do have one in hand, but it just blows me away, man. The time it took to get that. Like anyone who's ordering online, dude, the mail system is so screwed up right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. So my week was definitely not as crazy as yours, for sure. But it was going okay. I've pretty much like I've given up on like doing the extra hunting and stuff
Yeah.
like that for the PS5. It'll come when
Yeah.
it comes, whatever.
Same.
I've kind of made my peace with that. So
Mhm.
I'm about to jack my PlayStation out of the living room, bring it back into the
Cyberpunk
office
coming out
and
next
start
week,
playing it.
right?
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
pre-order
Yeah.
Cyberpunk on Amazon because it was like $10
$10.
cheaper.
Yeah.
So I got that coming. So that'll be the first thing that I crack open again. I do have Watch Dogs Legions, but I haven't opened that one up
Right.
yet. And then I have the PS5 Miles Morales, but I'm not gonna crack that open. I'm
Right.
thinking about returning that one since I don't even have a PS5 and
Right.
possibly getting Valhalla. See if I can do a 1-for-1 exchange or whatever.
Yeah, get those
Nice.
Yubi games, man. They all upgrade to PS5 versions.
Right.
so
Yeah.
they're-
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really
so
nice.
but anyways, what I've been playing is a little bit of Destiny. For some reason though, my Xbox is having an issue with connecting to the internet, so it keeps having to talk to the servers, and I'm getting like locked in on the gear that I have because it doesn't want to swap it out. or
swap because it
whatever.
needs to connect to the server.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I've just been trying to find other games to play. So I happened to go on the list a while back once EA Play was finally on there, and I decided to download Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah,
And
dude.
I had never played
Yeah,
that
that's
game.
a great
so
game.
wanted
So I
to
was
check
telling
it
you
out.
guys that's on there.
Yeah, so
to get on that.
I downloaded Jedi Fallen Order, and I've been playing it, and I have like really mixed feelings about it.
Really?
So the game itself is a good game,
Mhm.
as far as like how the story is going,
The combat.
Things like that are okay. Some of the combat I wish was a little bit different, but it's cool. But the problem that I'm having is how hard it is for my Xbox One to even play the damn game.
Oh wow.
I was literally having
Interesting.
frame skips
Oh,
while I was
that
playing
poor
it,
X1,
like where it
dude.
was just freezing and locking, like during a cutscene.
Wow.
Damn.
And I was like, good grief, I can't even like. I want to skip the shit, but it's literally like I'm trying to watch the story and
Right.
be able to enjoy it. But yeah, man, it just kept skipping and locking and whatnot, and like certain areas that I would transition to, and then you would just see the saving just going, but the screen would be like on pause, as it's waiting for everything to load up, and I'm having texture issues popping in and out, so like you kind of see that there should be texture there, but it's like all matte and weird looking, and then it'll come up.
Bizarre.
You're seeing like sometimes the characters' faces look really good, and sometimes they just look like monotone splash on the freaking painting or something like that. Like they just look weird. But yeah, so that was kind of like
Your game save
killing-
file stays on the system, right? Like, what if you uninstalled it and reinstalled it? Do you think that might fix it?
Uninstalling it and then reinstalling it. I don't know. I could probably try
Yeah.
that.
Was your
maybe
system
something got
overheating by
corrupted when
chance? Were
you-
you playing it for like?
No. No, I hadn't even played it for long. I maybe played it for like an hour or something like that. I've played Destiny for like 4 or
Yeah.
5 hours straight
Yeah.
and never had a problem with it.
Damn.
But this was for some reason, like it was just tanking left and right.
Wow.
And I was just like, good grief, man, this was bad. And it was, so because I didn't get it when it first came out and I haven't played it, until now, I don't know if it would have looked different on my PlayStation or if that's just the thing. Like, it's just textures coming in and out because that's how the game is, Sometimes, like, you're playing Fallout and there's tears on the screen and you just see, like, these random lights from somewhere.
That was happening
when
a
you hit
lot,
certain
huh?
angle.
But it was just all the time.
Yeah. It's the texture is definitely all the time. But when I was playing yesterday morning or whatever, it was just locking up and freezing on me like consistently during this cutscene. And I was like, dude, I just want to get out of the cutscene so that I
Right,
can get
so I
back
can
to the
play,
game and see
right.
if this is still doing this crap to
In
me.
the game, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of was like a little bad, and it was just like, damn, like what's going on with this? And I'm assuming that I'm playing it off my console, and that I just needed access to the internet for it to talk to it and say, hey, he's good to play this, with under Game Pass. But I don't think I'm streaming it, but it felt like as if I was streaming it, from somewhere else. Like I was just playing it off of somebody else's, Xbox or something because of how it was looking.
Dang, dude.
So yeah, I mean, I had stopped playing
That's a
Destiny 2
bummer.
because of the internet connection
yeah.
thing, talking to the servers with them. And I went to this, and I'm like almost ready to get off of it just because of how bad it looks.
You can't
like,
play it.
I would want to just wait until I got a Series X and then
Right.
play it on that, just
Right.
because I would assume that it would be better. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe you can download it and just like take a look at it once you finally get your X
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
just to see.
Yeah, I
like,
plan
if
on
it
playing
looks
that
as
one.
bad as
I
it
played
is.
that a little bit on the PS4,
Did you?
and I did like it. Like, it's got a very fun combat system. It feels really good.
Mhm.
Like, the Jedi combat feels really good. It feels weighty. It feels exactly how you would expect to play as a Jedi. My one complaint with it was, as I was playing it through, I was having a good time, and then it just got to a point where I was like, gosh, there's nothing to collect. Like, there's no weapons, new sabers, new gear, or anything to like earn. There's nothing to earn. All there is to earn is like cosmetic things. So like you'll find like a new lightsaber color or like a new attachment to your lightsaber to make
it look different.
Make it look different.
Yeah.
But that ain't cool. Like, I want to find like that dope saber that might hit harder, right? Or
Yeah,
do a
I
special
definitely-
ability, you know?
I
Like, there
definitely
isn't
haven't
anything
found
like
anything
that.
Yeah.
Like, and I played it for a while. I played pretty deep into the game, and that doesn't exist at all. So that's a huge issue that I have with Fallen Order,
That your lightsaber is just your lightsaber.
or just with any. There's no RPG element to it. There's not any like dark. Okay, they wanted
Besides
to.
picking your skills. and
Yeah,
stuff in the
besides
skills
the
tree,
skill
that's it.
tree, that's it. There isn't anything in the world to be finding and getting, right? Apart from cosmetic things. Where like this is trying to be the Dark Souls of like Jedi games.
Yeah.
But in Dark Souls, there's tons of fun stuff to find, dude. I
Yep.
always want to get to that little corner and pick up that item because it might be a piece of gear that I found, a new set, you know, a new weapon, you know, a thing to use, whatever it may be. Like Dark Souls, like there's that chase. So not only is the combat so much fun and great, but there's also that chase to get all the new loot and acquire all the wonderful things in the world as well. This doesn't have that.
Yeah, there's no items.
No
All
items.
It is literally
Yeah,
just
no
your health
items.
canister.
Yep, no
and
items to
that's not
collect.
nothing you pick up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, in a sense, like, I feel like the only aspect of Dark Souls that it did take is that you go to, like, a bonfire, your
Right.
meditation spot, and then
And the
you
game
reset it
resets
to
too.
rest,
Yeah,
and then it
everything
resets your enemies and
populates.
stuff,
Everything
yeah.
repopulates. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that was, like, the only aspect
And the
that I
combat's a
saw.
little tougher. Like it's a little bit more. It's supposed to be a little bit more. What you would call it? Like not tedious, but methodical. Right. The combat's a little bit more methodical. You know, you're kind of blocking and dodging certain enemies like Dark Souls. It's trying to be Dark Souls.
Right.
Because I remember I asked you about the game a couple of months ago because it was on sale and I was considering buying it. But when you told me there's no gear, and then one of my coworkers, shout out to you, Frankie Fresh, he said the game was super short. He's like, yeah, it should be like a $20 game, a $29 game, because the game is like 15 hours. It's a super short game. Granted, you know, Dark Souls aren't the longest games ever, but
They're like 30. They're like 25.
But there's a lot to
plus.
do. You can
No,
keep
they're like
replaying.
feel
them.
like
25, 30
if you
hours.
knew-
Yeah.
If you knew the set exact path to go,
You could knock it
every
out
step
quick.
of the way, you
Yeah.
can go fast.
there's a
But
lot
if you're
to
just
do,
exploring and you're
All
new
the
at
death
it,
and resets,
then
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a minute, dude.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna have some struggle issues.
But there's tons to do in Dark Souls, like you're saying,
Yeah.
collecting gear. For me, I like grinding and I like being a little stronger than my
every- yeah,
content.
grinding
so I'll
out
grind
souls,
that area
yeah.
down till I have it like clockwork, and then I'll go to the next.
Same.
Place. But it seemed like in this game, there's no really incentive. There's no reason to do that.
Nope.
So
You're
know,
just playing to play it.
And I love farming gear too.
Same,
like,
man.
I
It's
like
the best.
that Black Knight set or whatever it's called. I kept restarting. I kept going back until I had every piece before I moved on. But
especially when you can only get it from like certain enemies.
Yeah.
You know. For it to
Yeah,
drop,
like I saw a
okay,
dope
gotta
sword
keep
and
going.
enemies using, and I
And I
killed that
wanted
guy
it. I was
over
like,
and
"Alright,
over
I'ma
again.
keep-"
I've done that many
Yeah.
times. Like that's one of the most important parts of any RPG or game is the chase. You need to have a type of item chase or loot chase. This doesn't have any of that. I'm blown away by that. I'm just shocked.
So yeah, when you told me those things, I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna get it. But when I heard it was coming to Game Pass through the UB player, I would definitely am interested. And
It's fun. It is a lot of fun.
Will download it on my Xbox One X, and I'll let you know how it is.
If it's different,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I'm just wondering if maybe it's just an issue with it being on the one, and that's the problem. It's
starting to
just
show
like
its
it's
age.
not enough power or whatever for the game or what. But I'm pretty sure it came out for the one, so it
Yeah.
should have been
Should have been fine.
good for the one. And you would think that it would have had like enough content updates or whatever to like help this graphical issues
Right.
that are coming up.
Optimize it a little more.
Yeah. But I don't know, man.
I mean,
So,
Destiny's been optimized to high heck.
yeah.
Like you see how well it runs on your one. Like
Yeah.
maybe this game
Like
just
I
hasn't
said-
quite been optimized enough yet for that old software.
I have
but
seen that there are
hardware?
some games that are listed on Game Pass as like X/S.
Yeah, they've
Like,
been
they've been
optimized all
optimized
the
for
way
it.
to even the newest console.
Yeah, even like 360 games, like XS.
Right.
is
Oh yeah,
optimized
even
and stuff like
360
that.
games
Yeah,
now been
so,
optimized for the X and S, huh? Wow.
So I mean, maybe like with EA Play, like they just haven't optimized the
Maybe.
games for these or whatever, to like spruce them up. But I do know that I saw like a considerable difference in Destiny 2 after launch day for the
When they
the
optimized
Series
it for the
X,
Series
and then
X,
for
yeah.
that
It hasn't been fully
expansion.
up to XS optimization, right? It doesn't have the X and S symbol on it yet, Destiny 2.
That one I don't know because I've
But
never
it
I've never
definitely
looked
was
at it,
optimized because I agree, man. I noticed it too. Like the load times, everything was quicker, even on the old console.
Yeah, just on the one, man. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, this
It
normally
was
takes a little bit longer.
crazy fast. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so on to the news,
Yeah.
right? Marvel's Avenger. I've heard they've been taking quite a few L's recently, or I guess like this whole time,
Yeah.
for that game. I was reading in an article that it stated that they took, I think, a $47 million loss
Oh
on
my
like
gosh.
release or whatever, and then I guess in I think it was quarter 2 of 2020. They took like a $67 million loss. And
Yikes.
I know that I saw that it took about 170 million to 190 million
To make.
to make the game. So I mean, this is quite hefty L's. So, like, what do you guys think the reason
Right.
for this game not doing well would be? Like for me personally, I kind of think that it's probably an issue with some of the things that we griped and complained about with the game, right? Like there's not enough customization. It felt like a money grab for like
Right.
Money
for
grab.
them to grab money from a lot of other companies. And you would think that with all those money grabs, it would have been a free game. But it's like you're charging somebody the regular game price, and then there's all these other things. that
Dude,
you
the
gotta
free
be
model
with them
probably
or
would
them
have
or
been
them.
profitable for this system,
Madly.
for this game.
Maybe
would've-
so.
like Genshin Impact got all these downloads,
Exactly.
making this money.
Mhm.
This game is making no money because from day one, when I saw they were going on gum, they were partnering with all these companies, that rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, hey, you're charging me $60 for a free-to-play-ish game, and the nail of the coffin was when they announced that the characters that come with the game, you get the battle pass for them, but every character that comes out in the future, you have to pay for the battle pass for their like customization. So that was just a slap in the face. It's like, wait, what? So all these potential awesome characters that are going to come out, I'm going to have to keep forking over $10, $15.
And you already paid the initial front price.
It's like, what the? And it was just, and like Godly Sovereign was saying, like some of the gear looked kind of lazy. Like they're
just
just
reskins of the
it was
different
just
color,
reskins.
right? Yeah.
Like this, they treated it like a free to play game, but they charge you $60, and then they're wondering why they weren't successful. I think it's quite clear.
Yeah, there's a few things here that are interesting to me. For one, I'm actually surprised that they didn't make their money on launch. Like knowing that they were in the tank 47 million on launch day was a little surprising to me. It's because now that we know, we kind of learned about some of these things after the fact, right? Some of these things we knew about some of them before, like the branding and the stuff that the shady stuff they were doing
Right.
with the branding and the outsourcing and marketing, but franchising this thing off. But the gameplay was kind of like after the fact, and like the gear grind was kind of like after the fact, and the bland gear was kind of like after the fact. But I would think that they did enough initial work with the war rooms and everything to get people to buy it at launch day and have a big launch day, but it didn't even have a good launch day. And even to this very point, they have not made back the money they spent on production. This is another Anthem situation, right? This is like Anthem 2, where you have these big, massive games that are like pushed and peddled,
Yeah.
right, and marketed, and there's huge hype around them. There's lots of hype around Anthem. There's lots of hype around this.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
enjoyed talking about those war rooms. We enjoyed them.
We all
praised,
wanted to play the game.
We
looked
praised Thor's gameplay. Like this game was hyped. It looked well done as far as the combat went, and just died on impact. And so there's lots of weird things there. Like I'm like, because for me, it's like, okay, we were nitpicking it, right? But a lot of people would still go out and buy it, right? Maybe we don't, but a lot of people
My
still
father-in-law
would.
bought
Yeah, your
Marvel's
father.
Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
And he played it for like a cool minute. He seemed like he was loving it, and I never see him on it again. Like he's not on it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll have to ask him exactly why he stopped playing it. But I feel like there was just other games that
Do you
that took
think
over.
also,
Maybe.
like, I know it was discussed too by some of the people I saw talking about this, was, that there were no movies this year. So we didn't even get one Marvel movie
So
to
you think
build
there
any
wasn't
kind of
enough
hype.
Okay.
Or people didn't care as much about Marvel this year as they have in the past.
Uh-huh.
And maybe Marvel's brand took a little bit of a hit.
I feel like unfortunately, with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, if they had came out with a Black Panther, character battle pack, that would have got enough hoopla behind it. I mean, Fortnite did something, and that got into the news.
Right.
That's a good point.
About other people doing
That would have helped.
But to what you were saying about the $10 battle pass and stuff like that, you do get the characters for free. But look at the $10 battle pass as like seasons in Destiny that you have to pay $10 for a season.
Oh, and you earn stuff.
And there's 2 tiers of rewards that you get for certain levels. So like the top tier would be free items, but it's very scarce. And then you have the other one that if you paid $10 for that season
very
or whatever,
plentiful.
there's a lot of little random crap
Yeah.
that you can get. And that
But
stuff's supposed
I just
to make
don't
your
like that
character
it's
better.
for every character.
Yeah,
Like, it should just
every
be one.
post-launch
Like,
character.
I'm
is
cool
like
with
that.
Destiny. Like, hey, you do get one in all the classes, everything. You just get one battle pass. But this, they nickel and dime you per character. That's
But also,
mess.
like, the characters, they don't seem to be plentiful. Like, they have your immediate, like, 6, and then you got, like, the introduction of, like, Hawkeye, and then the other woman.
Is Hawkeye available right now, or do you need to get
I'm
him
not
for the
sure.
battle pass?
I wouldn't know. I didn't
know
check.
because he was one character I
he's
wanted to play.
He would be available. You would be able to play with him, but you would just buy
Yeah.
the battle pass to get the
I see.
extra,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
you,
skins
like,
and stuff.
Yeah, skins
I see.
and stuff
I
like that.
see.
Yeah, yeah, and the extra little thing to maybe make him like stronger, quicker, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
know if that.
But
Yeah.
it's, each
It says it's
character
not
has
pay to
their
play.
own. So I don't like that. I just want let me pay for one and get all of them.
Sure,
But
I get you. Yeah.
that's
No, I get you. That
Yeah,
makes
that's-
sense.
Yeah,
that's
to
a
have
lot.
it repeatedly.
You should get
for
it. You
each
should
one.
get a collection of skins, right? When you pay for that. Yeah, exactly. I get
Yeah.
that.
And apparently, you do get something. Like I said, you have like a free tier, and then you have like the
Right.
paid tier.
Yeah.
But obviously, the paid tier is gonna have a lot more. Like I noticed, I get a lot more shit when I play Destiny 2 for having paid.
Yeah,
the
I did
season
too because you
pass.
mentioned that, so I went and did the $10 too.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to play more.
Mhm.
Like every level, every
You're always getting
season
something.
level is exciting.
Yeah, and you're
Right? Like I
getting
look
like
forward, like when it happens,
XP
I look forward to
increases,
go over
whatever,
to
but
that
you're getting
thing.
something.
And that's worth it to me. Paying a little bit of money for that feeling
For
of
sure.
excitement is
Yeah.
what you want from your games.
And then I
so-
think it's only like what $8 because we have.
Oh
Game
yeah,
Pass.
you're right. It was $8 because Game Pass. It wasn't
Yeah.
even $10.
Yeah,
You have
so it was
$7.99 for
more than
us. Yeah,
that. Yeah.
So and it lasts for like 3 months. So
Yeah,
I was
like
like,
80
so it's
something
like
days.
$3 a month for a fun level, a fun experience. Like that's totally worth it to me. I'm wondering. I'll ask you guys this: if Marvel takes the Anthem route and it ends up becoming $4.99 or $2.99 used or something like that, would you snag it up and give it a shot then?
So I already know they're following the Destiny 2 route, right? They're doing Destiny 2. We all paid money on launch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A year, 2 years later, it's free, and then you buy the pieces. I'm 100% cool with that. So I would only play Marvels if it's
It's
free
free.
99,
Yeah.
and then I'll go buy these.
I'll buy some things
I'll
here and there. I'll buy
all
the season
characters
pass,
I want.
the season,
Yeah.
the battle
because
pass, whatever.
that's
yeah.
reasonable, especially if they're giving
Yeah.
you stuff. Like I think like when you get the Destiny 2 season pack, they give you like an exotic and like a couple of other
Yeah.
little things, but it's more so like all the stuff that you're getting, when you get further down the line, and then you're getting like XP increases. And apparently, if you're playing in a group with somebody else who has a season pass and they have those XP increases, there's plenty of party XP increases. So if you sit there and do the quest with them, you're gonna get a little bit more. A little
Dude,
bit
man,
more.
I honestly believe, and I stand by this when we talked about game prices, that the free-to-play model is the best model.
For
like
a lot of games,
for just almost every game. Maybe there are a few. Maybe there are
the
a few
ones
that
that
you
are
can
just
argue.
story based.
Yeah, like Last of Us 2, right? Maybe that doesn't have a very good free-to-play model. But things like Valhalla, Watch Dogs, Marvels, Cyberpunk. I mean, like a lot of these games that we talk about,
Wait,
dude,
but you
like,
think Valhalla though?
yeah, I think so too, because Yeah, because you get the game for free, and then you spend money in game on like gear. Maybe you get gear pieces, not pay to win.
Yeah.
But like cool skins, make your guy look good. Maybe you get like an XP booster. I don't know if that's considered a pay to win. I don't think it would because it's a single player game.
There's no PvP,
so you can give people whatever you want to give people. You can give them gear if you wanted.
Yeah.
And that model, because they already kind of do that. The UB games already do that. They have a UB store, and you buy these things already in game. And the point of the free to play model is that you increase your player base. Right? So you offset the loss of the pay to entry, but you increase your player base, and that increases purchases in the store, and that's where you make tons of money.
Right, especially if you have like mad creativity. Like I've noticed that Valhalla has like a lot of random creativity in there.
Yeah.
Like the boat, I guess the boat that you have that you go and you do your sieges on or whatever. It can be like it can have different colorways and stuff. So like
yeah,
they have, like
exactly.
A rainbow one. They
There's
have like
tons of them.
An electric one. They have like a whole bunch of different cosmetic looks, and then your mount is different as well. Like you gain access to different mounts as you progress through the story, but you can get like I guess like a Valhalla type of mount where like it's like a reindeer or something like some type
That's
of
totally
mythical
cool.
beast or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So it seems like there's a lot of stuff to play around with that they have, and if you had just made that accessible through like a purchase of like $10
battle
or
pass
something
or
like that.
$10 purchase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
people
it's
will
just
do
like,
it.
It's just a skin. It's not.
Yeah,
an
like
actual,
honestly, like
weapon.
if I hadn't
or even
paid
if
for
it is a good
Valhalla,
weapon,
I would spend $10, $20
for sure,
easily
for
without even breaking a sweat.
Right.
And if you increase your player base by a few million, right? Because now everyone can play it. And if even half of those do what we do and put the 20, you're making way more than if you had shrunk your player base down to a few million
and just sold
sold it at 50 like they're doing right now, which it's about 50. I mean, everyone's buying on Amazon for 50.
Right.
You'll make way more money. So like I believe in that model, and I think most games can work in that model. Almost majority of games can.
Quick question for you guys though. Like, have you guys noticed that a lot of these games that were supposed to be coming out for like the 70, the 60 or whatever, their prices are dropping pretty quick and they're staying that way. Like, I mean, Watch Dogs Legions, that one was supposed to be 50.
29 now,
That's
dude, on a lot of Black Friday
$30 now.
deals. Yeah.
And I thought it was Black Friday, but it seems like it's just kind of hovering around there. We're kind of past that.
Valhalla was even 40.
Yeah.
On GameStop Black Friday morning, because I was looking at that, it was $38
Right.
for Valhalla, and that just came out.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
it's weird, right? They made such a fuss about the $70 price tag, but
yeah, Godfall was 70.
Yeah,
that one's
Godfall.
dropped down to like 60 now or something like that. Or
like everything is
something.
like around what we all are still paying anyways.
Yeah.
And things like OfferUp, right? You were mentioning how you found people on OfferUp sending the brand new game for 50
yep.
on day one.
Right.
Right? Like, so, yeah, that price marketing system that they tried to.
It's almost like it's irrelevant.
It is like it's irrelevant, huh? Like it failed or something.
Yeah, unless like you wanted to get it like day one from like a store or something like that. But I don't know. I feel like that like the first week when it dropped was the only time that it was the price that it came out
Right.
as, and it's been less since then. You know what I mean? And we're going into like almost a month and some change, or whatever.
Yeah,
from
especially
time.
in the holiday season, you find everything on the low.
Right.
Everything on the low.
That's
I mean,
true.
that's crazy, man. Watch Dogs Legion like literally came out in the end of October.
That's insane.
And it's $30. It's $28 a lot of places, man.
Yeah.
Brand
That's
new.
nuts,
That's crazy.
And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like Godfall is going to drop a bit more.
Yeah.
If
So
it keeps getting the ratings it's
Yeah.
getting.
yeah, so this is different, but on the PC, people sell, if you buy like a graphics card, you get the codes for the PC.
Yeah.
But people have been selling Godfall and Shadowlands bundle for like $15. You have to have a
Wow.
Radiant card, of course. You can't just
Yeah.
activate it. But I was seeing those sell, quite a bit for about
That's pretty
14,
cheap.
$15 if you have a Radiant card.
It's a very expensive
Radiant.
card, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
But I mean, you're getting that game along with your card, and
That's
for them
worth
to just
it.
value it
It's
at $15
totally worth
is
it, man.
kinda
That's
like-
totally
I was
awesome.
thinking the same thing because it came with Shadowlands, which is $40,
Mhm.
Right.
and then Godfall, which is $60.
For
And then they're
PC,
straight
right?
up selling it for 14 for PC, and they're straight up selling a bundle for $14.99.
If you just buy the graphics card, right? If you have the graphics card on
Yeah,
your
as long
system.
as you have one.
Yeah.
Right?
So I just thought that was crazy. I was like, damn, yeah, like you were saying, I would expect them to value a little more than $15, but there's just tons. There's probably some right now for 11. Like they're probably pretty much giving those things away.
Mhm.
But I think it's like the customers always dictate how much the game is worth. I think you mentioned that before.
Right.
We talked about it in the past. So you guys can sell things for as much as you want, but the customer ultimately decides.
Ultimately, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
People are paying $1,200 for PS5s. I mean, it is what it
Yeah,
is.
dude.
But people are,
I did see the prices go down for the PS5 a tad bit. I've seen it hovering around 9 something
Yep. I was
over
gonna
at
say
like
the thing.
StockX, which is
Okay.
where a lot of people.
That's
would
the
happen to
aggregate,
go.
right? That has like all the places that it looks
That's
at
where you
all
sell
the cells,
shoes.
right?
Well, it's it's for shoes, but they've made their different section for like PS5 and whatever.
right.
So they've put that up there, and a lot of people would go to that because it's just a straight, online market where you could just straight up buy it and then get it shipped to you, kind of like eBay is, except it's supposed to be more trusted.
Because it's through an
from
actual
there.
company, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not through an individual who can screw you as much, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah. You're not getting it shipped from Tom's house in New Guinea.
Well, I mean, there
to
is
come
some
to
good
you or
news, right? We
whatever.
heard about that story about the scalper businesses having 1,000 of their bundles canceled.
Yeah, I did see an article
companies
on
are
that.
canceling out. That like they're learning how to spot some of the scalpers and bots and canceling out orders.
Yeah.
So that's some good news for the marketplace, But
Yeah, I'm hoping we see within like the next 2 weeks or so. I hope we see like some type of a miracle flood, of PlayStations that come in. I don't know if we will.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
It would be nice.
Anything's possible these days.
I know Sony's trying hard, man, to pump out stock. I know they're trying very hard, but it's crazy, man. Like how rare and like even when I got mine in the mail, it's like, how hard was it to get this thing? Like you had to be there at the moment on the morning, and then it was 3 weeks before they even got it to me. It's like, oh
Right.
my gosh, dude, this is insane.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man. So I'm interested to see how much more Marvel's Avengers will claim in losses, and whether they will try to adjust something. Because
They're gonna have to, man.
I definitely want them to adjust this whole like
Yeah.
cosmetic thing and like
Mhm.
having all these pieces of gear and stuff like that don't look like nothing. There's plenty of games, that like I said before, there's plenty of games that have different pieces of armor and whatnot that have looks, and then you have skins on top of
Totally,
that you can
man.
choose
Totally.
to override all of that and make it look like
It's a
this.
standard thing.
So, I'm
Yeah.
wondering when they'll just decide to like, change it and fix what they're doing, So, until then, I probably won't play it.
Yeah.
I probably would just wait until it came up.
free.
Same,
For
same,
free.
yeah.
Or, I mean, I would probably pay like $5.
It was
for if
pretty
everybody
low
was
already
gonna
this Black
change.
Friday. Like it was
Was it?
pretty darn
Like,
low.
it was
in
like
the 20s,
20
I think.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
20.
So,
So
I
it's
mean,
it's really low too, and they probably were kicking and screaming going that low. They didn't want to go that cheap.
yeah,
Yeah. Game just came out 5 months ago,
Yeah.
4 months ago. I don't know. Recently.
yeah.
So
So
for sub $5, I'd consider it.
yeah, $5, not
Yeah.
bad. I
Free
mean, I was
99.
considering Anthem. I was considering
Yeah.
Anthem, but since it's on EA Play, and I
Yeah,
have
now you
Game
don't
Pass,
need it. Yeah, now you
I'll
don't
just
need
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So you just got your PS5 and everything. It's nice and spiffy. But while we're over here waiting, right, with our fingers, twiddling our thumbs and stuff, it's PS5 Pro that's been leaked that they've been talking about, and obviously, it seems like it's it would seem like it would be weird for them to be even thinking about a Pro because of the directions that we have been tending to move towards
Mhm.
as of late, but it's on par with what they've been doing, right? Because they made a PS4 Pro, and they did
Right.
a PS4 Pro 3 years into their console. So this PS5 Pro, it being so quick to be mentioned or leaked
I
out,
know, dude.
but it's a possibility that it could be here 2023, beginning of like 2024 or
Mhm.
something like that. I saw that, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but it had like 2 graphical output
two
cards or something like
GPUs?
that, 2 SoCs. Or
Yeah, I
whatever
heard
they
about
call
2
that. I don't know
GPUs as well.
what that is, but it was supposed to basically essentially be like double the strength
Right.
of the PS5 right now, currently, which would shit over an Xbox Series X, anything. at this
Right.
point, right? Maybe not a PC because I'm sure you could probably
link
build
like
a
4 or
PC that can
5
beat
graphics
it.
Yeah.
Up to it. But you know, how do you guys like? What do you guys think about these PS5 Pro rumors coming out?
I'm
like,
cool
do you
with
guys give them weight or what?
I'm cool with them, and I'm cool with the PS6 rumors and PS6 Pro rumors coming out.
They always happening, right?
I'm-
Just like iPhone.
I'm excited. You know, I want a Pro. I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around the current performance of a PS5, and it's even scarier to think
A Pro
there's something
version,
gonna
right?
be better
I know.
than this
I know.
in some way. So it's crazy. I don't think the market really needs it yet because I think most people don't have 4K monitors or TVs. They're just making that jump probably this year. And then people don't have 4K 120 hertz
right.
TVs or monitors. I know I don't. You know, my 4K
Right.
screen and monitor is only 60 hertz. So
Same.
could I capitalize on a PS5 Pro performance? No, not necessarily.
Can't even capitalize on a PS5 performance
Yeah.
because we don't have 120 hertz screens
I mean,
right now.
the games
Yeah,
ain't
not
even
a
giving
4K
you
one.
100.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we
yeah,
can't even
exactly,
capitalize right
exactly.
now, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
games aren't even giving you like.
Yeah,
120
we can't even
everything,
capitalize right
so-
now with what we have in our bedrooms, right?
So I'm not gonna. I don't really need that performance right now in 2020. You know what I mean? I'm just barely getting to PS5 world. So let me
Right.
dabble with that and get all my hardware ready for something better than that. So I'm excited, but I wouldn't. Anyone out there that's on the fence of getting a PS5 or wait for the PS4.
You'd be a fool. You gotta wait
Yeah.
3 years at
It's
least.
like, are you
Right.
even ready for that? So
Right.
because for me, a gaming monitor that's 4K with HDR 120 hertz,
It's expensive.
that's like
dude.
a $400 or $500 monitor.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And the televisions are minimum. You can't find one less than $1,000. You
Yeah.
can't find one less than $1,000. Even on Black Friday, a 4K 120 hertz TV,
Oh,
they
you
don't
was
exist
looking.
for like. Yeah, I was
You was out
looking.
there
I was
looking.
curious.
Yeah.
They're
I,
mainly
I
just
wasn't gonna buy
monitors.
one, but I was
Oh, okay.
curious to
Yeah.
see what they go for.
They're mainly
I was
just
kind of
monitors,
curious. Yeah, $1,000, $500 for a monitor. Like, yeah, they're not. We're not there yet.
we're not
Maybe
there
next
yet,
Black
no way.
Friday, right? You can get down to the 500 range for a
Maybe.
TV at that
Yeah.
range, but
Yeah.
we're not there yet. But yeah, I don't know. It was funny to me too because like I'm like you on this with the notion of I can't even really pump out what I have right now,
Yeah.
right? Let alone a Pro version.
So what imagine.
But I do remember there's a difference this time around because the original PS4, I think, was behind our current monitors,
Oh yeah.
right? Our current televisions and our current monitors were already 60 hertz for a long time. We're already 1080p, some even 4Ks. HDR
like
was
that,
already coming out, and I think the original PS4 was behind quite a bit. I honestly, like if
So
you
the
look
Pro
back
made
on it,
sense.
yeah, there was a lot of controversy actually. If you remember back on that time period, there was a lot of controversy about how it was underpowered, even how the One X, not the One X, the One was a little underpowered too. And that's when there was like because that was the first time in the history of gaming that we had a Pro model come out.
Right.
Yeah, we had slim versions. Yeah, we had even slimmer versions. Yeah, we had custom looking ones that were released, every year. But an actual like new console in between console launches was the first time in history that had ever happened. And it was because all the fuss about how they were a little underpowered. A lot of people were complaining about how they weren't graphically where they should be in that current generation that we were in.
Right.
So this one though, this new one doesn't feel that way. This new PS5 and new Series
Feels like
X.
exactly where it should be. This shit
Yeah.
is saying 8K. So
Yeah, it's like it's already ready for 8K.
Yeah, it's saying
When that
4K,
happens,
8K,
right?
yeah,
When that
so-
ever does happen, like there'll be a ways for it. I think it's probably an upscaler. It's
Yeah.
probably not going to be native 8K.
Right,
but
right,
there are
right.
ways for it to pump out even to an 8K display, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, I don't even see a reason to even need to own a Pro now or even 3 years. Like I can see myself sticking with this for the whole generation.
Yeah.
And then switching to something more powerful when the next console
Mm-hmm.
launches. But to need a Pro model right now, like I don't even see the point of it. So yeah, I agree with you, like almost 100% on everything you said. If you're thinking about if this is like making you, well, I'll just wait then. Like don't, man. Like you can't even deal with this. Like I'm telling you, you've been playing PS4 your whole life on your old television and you're going to get PS5. You can't even handle a Pro version of a PS5. You can't even handle the PS5. Like don't wait. If you can get one, grab one now. Enjoy the entirety of the generation because you're going to have a great console for the whole generation.
and it's going to extend even past then because
Yeah.
we're seeing that the PS4 is still
Has
living-
life for next
Yeah,
year. They're
right
producing
now.
all games next year still over the PS4.
Yeah, so it's still
Right?
going to have its longevity and its time frame. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I see the rumors as just being, rumors once again. You know, like it's just so what. You know, it's that's cool. It's working on something else. As long as they keep putting the energy into the current console that they have right now, and that's just under R&R, then I'm fine with that.
I think they're just adopting the Samsung Galaxy / iPhone model, right? Where they want to produce something that you can purchase. In our sense, probably bi-yearly, not quite yearly like a phone, right? But like a bi-yearly kind of thing. Yeah. Like I can see like 2 years from now, not next year, but the year after, them coming out with a smaller version of the PS5. Yeah. Clearly that's needed. And then maybe the year after that, a Pro model, or even another year. So every 2 years, like a new model comes out. And then 2 or 3 years later, they relaunch the new console, right? Something for you to buy all the time. Yeah, where before you'd buy a console and you just stick with that thing for the whole generation. Now they're kind of adopting that more bi-yearly model.
And I mean, consistently they were having like those special like console, those game edition ones, the collector's edition consoles and stuff like that. They had those consistently coming out. So I hope that we don't see those. I hope that we just see panels that are coming out, but I wouldn't put it past them to put something crazy on there.
And at $500, right? Like it's not pricey enough to be like feeling like they're forcing us to spend all this money all the time, right? If we're spending $500 every 3 years, right, on a new console, I think
it's way less than a phone.
Yeah, phones are way more than that, and people buy phones yearly, right? And you're getting, I think, way more tech almost with this than you are with your phone, because phones aren't improving that much anyways. And I don't mind that, every few years buying the new system that comes out. Like I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, as long as it's like a vast improvement. If it's just something slight.
Yeah, if there's a measurable improvement, like 2 graphics cards, that's going to be an enormous improvement.
Yeah.
But for $500, like you really can't be upset. Now, if they start charging more, you're like, come on, man, we can't afford $1,000. We can't afford $800, $700. You know. Right. So.
One thing that I was thinking about when I was hearing about this, and maybe you could give me a little bit more info on it, but are you able to connect like 2 to 3 computers together to have a better output, like graphic wise, power wise, like
GPUs you can.
So as far as GPUs, games aren't really built to be optimized off 2 graphics cards anymore. So that's more of like 2008, 2009 when you do SLI,
the Crossfire,
or Crossfire for the Radeon cards. So games used to. That would be the way to get the most, juice out of your rig.
Right.
Whereas now you get maybe like a 5 to 10 to 15% performance increase, and it's not worth it because you're paying hundreds for only 5%.
For it. Yeah.
So to answer your question, for multiple cards in a PC, you don't get too much. But I know they use like 3 or 4 graphics cards for like mining cryptocurrency because that's effective.
Because that's like really taxing on the system.
Yes. So. For gaming, it's all on the engine and how it's optimized for it. So I'm sure PlayStation, because they, the developers are creating the game for one system, it's better to optimize it for that way.
Right.
Whereas for a computer, you would have to try to optimize it for every pair of graphics cards in the world. So it's just a little different.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, like, okay, if this thing was talking about there being 2 graphics cards within a system or whatnot, what if they just made something that was as simple as like a $50 adapter or something like that could essentially
link your systems together,
a digital and a disc together to outperform anything that's out there or whatever, you know what I mean, by using the computing power of both of these systems, and joining them together, and now everything is firing super quick. There are absolutely no load times in anything. Everything looks spectacular.
Yeah, you'd be at mercy of the connector.
Right.
So if it'd be like USB, if it's any USB thing, that would be the bottleneck.
Maybe like really HDMI 2.1 type of connector or something like that.
So, and it would have to be something like on board on the motherboard, to kind of take advantage of all of that strength. So, we'll see.
Cool idea, but I don't think that's possible.
Yeah.
But that'd be a very cost-effective way, because you can just buy the $399 console,
and then the $50.
You double your hard drive, right? You double your seat, right? You're like, I mean, that makes sense, but
because you're like merging them in a sense with this like
so
one.
You just have a farm of PlayStations.
I'm like on
just
chain
got a
link.
row of them, dude. I can run the International Space Station, man.
Yeah, I run NASA from my
I run
from my
NASA
living
from
room.
my bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool. But did you guys happen to catch the Last of Us 2 Abby trailer?
Yeah, I caught
The
it.
little story trailer.
Yeah, I caught it.
Yeah.
So I still didn't play. I still didn't finish the first Last of Us.
Oh,
I
you
didn't even
didn't wanna
touch the
touch
second.
it.
So I didn't watch it. I know it has spoilers, so I didn't even
look at
partake.
it.
So this is all on you guys because I didn't even check it out.
Yeah, I definitely watched it. I was interested in seeing. Well, there's some rumors still like about the multiplayer. They haven't released the Last of Us 2 multiplayer yet.
Okay.
Some people are thinking maybe at Game Awards it gets revealed. I don't know. So I was kind of curious if they showed anything else in that trailer other than just Abby's story. But as I was watching it, some things came to mind. Like the first thing that came to mind was like, okay, so they're just blowing the lid on this story.
Right.
Like we didn't even know that we were going to be playing as Abby at all in this
Right.
game until they threw it on us in the middle of the game.
Right.
Part of me wondered, because a lot of people did not like that. A lot of people did not like being thrown Abby in the middle of the game and being forced to play here.
Yeah.
Part of me wondered if they had been a little bit more forthright and upfront with that, people may have not have been as upset. Or were they worried that if they showed that, people wouldn't be as interested in buying it? So they focused on Ellie and Joel. So it's just curious to me. Like when I see the launch of the Abby trailer, I'm like, this is kind of a weird time to show that. Why wasn't there something like that earlier, letting us know that this would happen? This was a major part of the game. They're just now telling us. They're no longer trying to keep a lid on any of their storyline. They're releasing it all to us. And this is how they see Abby. Like them showing us this trailer is them letting us know this is how they see her as a character. And I kind of wanted to ask Gali, after you watched it, like, did you think that they did an honest job portraying Abby as a character? Do you think that they captured how she is in the game, how she plays, how you felt about her in the game, her justifications, her reasonings for why she did what she did? Like, what did you think as you watched it? Was it fair or not? Was it a fair trailer?
So if like for some reason, by any chance, and I'm sorry, but like if there's any chance that you have not played this game yet and you don't want to hear any type of like crazy spoilers or whatever,
Turn
I'll
away
just
now.
put like a spoilers description right here. But I feel like because of the way her story goes, right? With the other girl that's added in, I'll try to be as vague as I can.
Right.
That's added into the storyline as kind of her humanity,
Ellie,
or like her goal.
Right.
I feel like the way they just did the clips. I mean, it was obviously supposed to be an Abby trailer, but they did include some of Ellie in
Right.
there, and getting to some of those points, some of those page turning, like those those epic
Moments.
the story is turning, type of areas. I feel like the way that they portrayed the trailer was like a lie. Like I feel like it looked a lot cooler in the trailer
agree.
than it did as we were playing it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? There was many of moments where I was just like, why am I still on her?
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to Ellie because I'm more interested in Ellie's story than I am in Abby's story. And so for them to bring this trailer up, it seems as if they're putting Abby's part of the story on par and as high as Ellie's.
Yep.
Like,
Yep,
hey, this
you're right.
story was just as good as this one. When there's
Yeah,
a
you're
lot
right.
of like whys
Mm-hmm.
that I'm sure a lot of people have. I don't know if everybody has it, but I'd figure there's quite a few people that have like a why. Why did we care? Why are we, in this? You know what I mean? Because there wasn't enough time for us to get attached to Abby like we've been attached to Ellie. You know what I mean? We had a whole game to get attached to Ellie.
Right.
And this story wasn't enough for us to get attached to Abby, or at least me. So
I agree 100%.
I felt like the trailer, if you're just looking at it for face value, the trailer looked cool.
Yeah.
It did show pivotal moments. It didn't quite give you everything because you didn't see the faces of people in different positions, and you didn't see other things. But you kind of saw like where it's going. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, I did not think this was really a fair portrayal. I thought that this was definitely like a glorified badass, cool, exciting portrayal of Abby.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get any of that vibe from her when I was really playing the game, like at all. She was kind of dull, boring, a sad person. You know, like her justifications, but in this one they make it seem like she's got so much justification. Like this, they really emphasize the scene with her and her father, and her seeing her father.
She walks in, father's dead. She's vengeance.
They really emphasize. You're like, oh gosh, well that makes a lot of sense, right? Like if I haven't played the game and I watch that trailer, I'm like, what are people so pissed off about? That makes so much sense.
You see Joel, you see her confronting him.
Yeah,
then you see everything else.
Yeah, this all works, and like so part of me felt like, nah, this isn't exactly how it went down. This isn't exactly 100% true here. You're missing some stuff, that is important in the storyline that you're not really sharing.
Right.
You're just showing the badassery of it all and like the excitement of it all, and not any of the shortcomings of Abby as the character. So I thought it wasn't fair. I thought it was an exciting trailer. And I thought someone who hasn't played the game, when they watch this, would want to play the game.
Yeah.
I go, gosh, this looks really good. And it does. The trailer is really well done. But I just don't think it was fair compared to what we played and what we had to experience playing through Abby without any trailers support or backstory or knowledge.
Right, yeah, we didn't know.
We didn't have that.
Until, like really close to the game being released, and then you're starting to see that, like, oh, okay, it looks like you have to play, that you're going to play Abby at some point. But I was never actually, like, told I would have to play, like, half of the game as Abby. Yeah,
it's not like some flashbacks or some scenes here and there. It's literally half the game.
Yeah, it wasn't like small fillers. It was literally half of the
literally
game was
half,
her.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Like,
you're like restarting it.
That's a major issue. Like, had it been, like, I feel like how this trailer kind of portrays it, like where you're following Ellie and then you have these parts of Abby, kind of like how you mentioned, they showed Ellie still.
Wouldn't this have been a great way to introduce an Abby DLC?
Yeah.
That tells her side of the story.
This
and
feels
her
like an
gameplay.
Abby DLC.
But like the first
this trailer
half,
feels like an Abby DLC. You're right.
If the first half had been Tilu 2 and it's still Ellie's story and you get all the way to the end, however, just like how it ended, you got there through Ellie's story. But then they tell you, hey, we got an Abby trailer here. And
For
you're
the
like,
next
what?
upcoming DLC,
What is
totally.
This? Oh, I remember that scene. Or, oh, I remember this. What's this part?
Oh, and
here?
it's linking?
And then it's linking, and it's telling you Abby's story. But it's giving you Abby's story pulled out, on its own.
More context, more backstory.
You weren't forced to play Ellie, then Abby, Ellie, Abby. You know what I mean? When you played the game, you were just playing all Ellie. And then now you get a DLC free, and it's all Abby.
Dude, I think that would have been a brilliant way to do this.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
There's a lot of problems with The Last of Us, but if they had gone that route, like, I would be excited to play.
And I feel like they could have given more time for you to, because you would have been specifically only playing Abby. They could have given a couple of more hours of gameplay to give you a better story
of Ellie
and get into
Joel.
Abby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get more into, Abby and have a little bit more.
And we wouldn't
sympathy for
feel
her.
so betrayed. We wouldn't feel so robbed because, this is just a DLC now.
Right.
And I'm curious, and I'm willing to play it, and I can't really be upset because it's a DLC side story.
Yeah, and then like you were saying, a little bit more story of like Ellie
and a little bit
possibly
more
covering more grounds of like how they got to that area, with Ellie and Joel. You know what I mean? Because we missed a lot between Ellie and Joel.
We didn't get any Joel Ellie
I thought we
interaction.
were gonna get a lot more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, some of the flashbacks and stuff were cool, but I felt like we should have had a little bit more of Ellie and Joel before things changed. But
yeah, I have the game was so well done as far as like the gameplay and the way it played and the environment and the scenery that I still look back on that game fondly. Like I still look back on Tulu 2 like very fondly. Like I feel still a little, Tulu 2 hangover. Like I'm still having a hard time finding a game that rises to that kind of level and I mean, wonderful.
It did win
gameplay.
Game Awards this year.
It did. So. It's nominated for a ton of Game Awards, and so like I'm happy to see that. I think it deserves all of them. Everyone who trashes Tulu 2, I think, is wrong. I think it is a masterpiece. Between 9 and 10, but it is a masterpiece. I think it deserves all the praise it's getting. It has its failings with the story, it does. But as much as that game is so brilliant, it makes up for so many things. Just play it, and you'll just see oh my gosh, how good it is, that you'll really forgive it for a lot of its shortfallings. That watching that trailer, even as bad as it was and as dishonest as it was, it still kind of made me want to go back and fire up like a new game plus, and play that game again because it's so good.
Yeah, I kind of wish that you could just that they would have given you like an extra tab in there as an update to just play Abby's story by itself or Ellie's story by itself.
That'd have been cool.
And just skip through it, you know what I mean? So that you don't have to, if you want to play the whole game over again, you know, to max out on all of your skills and all that stuff and your weapons and all that, that you would have to play the entire game the way it was. You know what I mean?
You could have done that too, because you could have pulled out the large chunk and just put like the fight between them together, and the story would still kind of flow.
Yeah.
Right, like in Ellie's story, the point when you get to the point where Abby shows up,
Yeah, it's just
you
it's
can
just
show that
years,
fight
it's
right
just like
there.
a year later.
yeah, you
or
can show
months
that
later
fight
or
right
whatever.
there, because
Yeah.
that fight happens immediately.
Right.
Like they cut away into the flashback with Abby, and you go through the next 10 hours of the game.
Right.
But you could have just, like you said, had a tab. Okay, just I want to stay as Ellie and see what this finishes.
Right.
And that would have been perfectly fine. Like that would have been a perfectly fine way to do it too.
Do you think that they'll have like a possible
Like director's cut or something.
cut
Yeah.
that will come out? like,
That'd be
soon?
dope. I don't have any faith that it will, but I'd be super happy if they did.
I mean, I'm still wondering, like, what do you have, like, what's in your mind for why they would have released an Abby story trailer?
Yeah. Outside looking in, what do you think the motive is for that?
Maybe they're gonna release another purchasable thing, so maybe it's just to kind of give you a taste to get the Tilo 2 hype going, and you know, maybe at the Game Awards they're gonna announce, hey guys,
I'm wondering if Game Awards is part of this.
you know. So I think they're just
Curious
gonna release
release.
something that's potentially purchasable, and it's just the way to get the hype going, you know. So that's my thought.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, like, Tilo 2 did win Game Awards for the Game of the Year, and it also won, like,
Well, the Game Awards
It's on
happen
the
next week on the
it's
10th.
December 10th.
yeah, but I felt like they've already been announcing some of the winners and stuff like that.
Not for the Game Awards. Maybe for another
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah, I
I'll
thought
have to look
it's
it
on
up,
December.
but for
Nah,
some reason, I thought I saw
I'm
that
looking.
it had
We're
won,
gonna
like,
watch
2 or
those
3
game.
things.
I'm looking forward to watching
for
the
sure.
Game Awards,
Me
man.
too.
So I hope they win. I believe they will. I have confidence that they'll win.
Yeah.
Think
I
so.
hope they do. They deserve it. That game's incredible.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like maybe the reason that they are bringing this out is because they are going to announce that there's like some type of a DLC or something that's
I
coming out,
hope,
or
man. A DLC would be
some
sick.
type of I hope it'd be free, but who
Yeah.
knows? But like maybe like a free.
I think
director's cut or
multiplayer at
something.
minimum, right? Like
Maybe
that should
so.
be a free thing. People have been waiting for that. I don't know how they'll do it, what their plan is for multiplayer, but
Yeah, so
something.
as far as like the Game Awards goes,
Mhm.
like what do you think will be revealed at the Game Awards? Like, do you guys have like a specific game in mind that
For
you would want?
me, I'm hoping Elden Ring.
Dude,
was-
that was first on my
I
list
was
too.
saying that
Elden
too.
Ring.
Yeah. I would hope.
Yeah, so we all want that one. Because last year, one game that completely surprised me was the Magic the Gathering role playing game.
Okay.
I don't know. I think they're marketing as an MMO, but I think it's gonna be like a Diablo style game, action RPG style game.
That sounds cool.
But the Magic the Gathering one last year kind of blew me away. I was like, whoa! I didn't even fathom that was potentially gonna be coming out. You know.
Yeah.
So that one caught me by surprise. So this year, I'm hoping there's another surprise for me. But for sure, if Elden Ring is announced or shown or something,
Right.
I'll be completely content.
Okay.
Like, you want like, because I want some gameplay, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I want
for
some
sure,
Elden Ring
for
game.
sure.
Yeah,
reveal, dude.
I don't want like a trailer.
I don't want another trailer, man. We already
Yeah.
know it exists. I want to see how it's gonna look.
Yeah.
I want to see how the open world's gonna look. Like that's what I'm curious about. Like, because Dark Souls and Demon Souls, they're all corridor. Cause they're kind of like good on the corridor. It's not really open. So I'm kind of curious on how like an open world Demon Souls would look. Even if they just give us screenshots, like if it's a trailer with screenshots of in-game footage, like that'll make me happy. Like
Yeah.
I hope that happens. Like there's some other games too. Like things that I think could happen. Maybe like God of War Ragnarok gameplay reveal. Like that'd be sick.
That would be pretty dope.
Or even more footage on Hogwarts or Gotham Knights.
Ooh, forgot
right?
about
Both of those.
forgot about Hogwarts.
Something from
Those.
WB Games, right? Like I'm
Forgot
hoping
about
like
those.
we'll get something from those games.
Me personally, I would think that we would get something from Starfield. I mean,
Dude, yeah.
considering-
I was thinking
considering
Bethesda
that,
too.
Yeah, because Phil Spencer had said that he's played quite a bit of Starfield, that he's been playing. it.
Really?
Yeah, so the fact that he's been playing it, means that they've got something to show.
Dude, that's
somewhere.
a
So
great
just show
guess.
like a
That's
little
a great
bit or something
prediction.
like that, would be nice. That, and then I would love to see something from Fable.
Of
You
course.
know what I mean? Just something,
Of
it's just like
course.
something small
Yeah.
or whatever. You know, like
I think you're in the right
character introduction or
direction though with Xbox, because last year at the Game Awards, they revealed the Series X at the Game Awards. That's when they
Oh.
revealed it.
Oh,
And then
okay.
Phil
That's right.
Spencer came out on stage, if you remember.
something. Yeah.
So clearly, Xbox and Phil Spencer likes to have a big footprint on the Game Awards,
Mm-hmm.
where Sony didn't even show up at the Game Awards. And I know a lot of people were talking about Kojima and Konami. They're wondering if Konami will have any footprint on the Game Awards. But
Okay.
last Game Awards, Konami wouldn't even let Kojima walk on stage. They forbid him from even going there.
Right.
And then that's when they had like the breakup, you know?
Yeah.
And you had Death Stranding released this year on Sony. So
So
people are
you wondering if
curious.
Kojima is gonna show
Yeah,
up?
people are wondering if Kojima, because Kojima wants to show up, and supposedly he's already working on his next game.
Right.
So there is a chance that Kojima could show up with his next game.
Did you ever play Death Stranding?
I still haven't played Death Stranding. Is that on the
Never
PS
played it.
Collection?
No.
I don't think it
it's
is,
not.
huh?
Mm-mm. It's
I would
not.
maybe try it if it was on the PS Collection.
Yeah, if it
Gotcha.
was free for sure,
Yeah.
I would try it. But I don't think I want to.
I don't even know if I would spend 20 on it, man. I'm so torn on that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Xbox is definitely something will happen
I
with
forgot
Xbox.
about. That's a great point you brought
Yeah.
up. Maybe Halo then.
No, they specifically said they came out with the tweet saying Halo will not be at Game Awards.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
They still got a lot of work to do on it. I feel.
Dang.
Like,
So
I think they
it seems
restarted,
like they're
dude.
scrapping. They're
I think they
scrapping it.
scrapped.
Damn, that's
When I saw that, I thought they scrapped this thing, dude. It's
Yeah.
completely scrapped. They're not going to show another ounce of that footage again.
yeah, I saw it. I saw
That's
another interview of like Phil Spencer talking about it, and and he was kind of like, yeah, I mean, we didn't think it was gonna do like what it did when we showed it or anything like that, but he was saying that he thinks that it kind of got messed up because like a lot of these games, you're looking at them as being like a more realistic portrayal, like it looking like real life, and when this game wasn't that, but because that wasn't like expressed or anything like that, when you see it, it looks bad. You know what I
Right.
mean? As opposed to
He
a game
admits
that
it too, right? Like it does
Yeah.
look bad, right?
So,
yeah.
but he was talking about, they're just, back in there, just cooking away and working on it. So yeah, I feel like we probably won't see anything from Halo until like Q2 of next year. I feel like
Dang,
that would
dude.
be their safest bet, and that we might not even get it until like,
lucky
end of
next year. Lucky
Yeah.
next year. I think we're lucky if we get it next year.
Yeah, well,
Because I think they might have scrapped it.
I don't know. I think that they're gonna keep that stuff that's there because that's a lot to
I
like,
don't know,
go
man.
back on, right? Because they were presenting a game that was ready to be
How
launched.
do you fix it
on
though?
launch day.
You got to start over. All new assets.
I don't know.
I would think you would just tweak the graphics, like figure out how to
I
how to
don't
work
know
your
how
I
you-
don't know.
That
stuff,
engine's
your
crap,
aesthetics.
dude. That engine's crap that you were using.
Yeah, but I mean, games like Fallout and stuff, like Bethesda's been working on a crap engine for like the longest. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's
don't
got to
know,
be
man.
another way.
That
around
engine
it.
was bad though.
Yeah.
Fallout's engine, I think, is salvageable, but I know they're doing their
It
new
seems
engine now,
old.
right?
Well, they just beefed up their
current engine, yeah,
So I
so-
don't know. I don't know how much of a difference that's gonna be because, like, the Fallout's just been having like the same type of graphic.
It's
you know,
such a
the
shame,
entire
man.
time.
That would have made buying an Xbox Series X so much more enjoyable if you had the new Halo launch with it, man.
Yeah, he definitely had mentioned that.
That's such an
you
F
know,
up.
That not having like a specific launch
Killer app, yeah.
day title, was kind of like a little rough, but just the fact that there was so much else to offer.
They got the
with
Game Pass, so
and
that's
stuff,
the one
it kinda
saving
made up
grace.
for it.
They
That's
got
why
Game
I
Pass.
want it.
There's a reason to have
Mhm.
an Xbox. If they didn't have Game Pass, I would.
Terrible. No
Like,
one would
why?
want to buy that, right?
You know, just get a PC and a PlayStation. Why?
yeah.
But Game Pass is such an amazing value. They can afford to have some of these like fumbles, with Halo. They can afford because
Yeah.
they have Game Pass. So they just better hope that Sony is not brewing their own Game Pass. Because if they
There's
are,
rumors of that.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope they are.
There's rumors.
I'm
Having something to
hoping
do
that-
with that PS Now, right?
Yep, there's rumors, man.
I'm hoping this is the future, the Netflix of gaming, because I love these subscriptions.
Same.
you
I love 'em.
Do
I
you
love
think
'em.
do you think that PlayStation still provides the excellent quality of games they have if they go to a pass of some sort, like a PlayStation Pass? Do you think their games will still be on par as they are?
I
So
I
they're,
think so, man.
They're
'Cause, I
first
mean,
party
sho-
titles.
You have to get
shows-
people to show up, man.
Yeah.
You got to get people in the door.
Yeah. Because I feel like, I don't know, like Netflix, their originals are solid.
I love Netflix. I'm watching quite a few of them recently.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it brings more money in your pocket because you know how Sir Knight was saying it gives you more customers. So now you're having more viewers for your show, and then you could merchandise more. There's a lot of different things that you can introduce once you have a bigger audience. So I think that they can make the money. You know, if there's a bigger audience. So I'm hoping that that's what they bring. So
I feel like some of these like these game passes and stuff will be like a resurgence of popularity with certain games that might have been buzzed about a little bit, but then like fell on to the wayside. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? I had never even heard of Control until recently when it said it was coming to the Game Pass.
It's a pretty big one.
So for like me to play it and then be like, oh, this game is awesome. If I was to, you know, if I enjoy it, then, you know, you would then look at like the gaming studio and possibly anticipate what they have coming next.
Right.
You know, just because it's offered on Game Pass. You know, I tried the game out. I would have never tried Moonlighter if it hadn't been on Game Pass.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of games that I just wouldn't even check out. I still wouldn't even have Anthem downloaded onto my console if it was not on Game Pass because I just hadn't gotten around to paying $5 for it.
yeah.
You know, so I'm hoping that some of these will bring light to games that just didn't get enough of it, you know, when they came out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, Sony can do that. I also think PS Now is a little more pricey, I think, than Game Pass, right? It's $20 a month, I think.
I believe so.
Like, it's too much money. So step one is too much money. And step two, if they start adding some actual real games on there,
like
with
new,
some of their
games?
own studio games, like new games, then I think you'll really have something going on there. A real competitor to Game Pass, but they ain't there yet.
It would seem pretty crazy, though, right? To get, like, some of these first-party titles that are so good on the PlayStation, to get them day one for free off of, like,
That'd
a
be
Game
nuts.
Pass, that would
That'd
be
be a dream,
nice.
Because the quality is so high, right? Yeah.
It would be exactly what the Xbox was trying to do, but just haven't
The actual
quite
good
succeeded
games,
yet.
Yeah.
They haven't put out anything that was just spectacular, a first-party title.
It is
on
crazy
it.
to think, though, like, now that EA is also on Game Pass, every single EA game title that comes out, you know, don't even worry about getting it on launch. Just wait a few months and you'll have it for free. Like, how dope is that?
Well, you don't even have to wait
Literally
few
a
months,
whole
right?
entire studio. Huh?
You don't even have to wait a
play
few
10
months because
hours.
it's
Yeah,
it's
you can play 10
immediately-
hours, but I'm talking about, like,
Oh, to
eventually
get
it
the
will
full
come.
game.
Yeah, like Jedi Fallen Order's free, Control, like all these big names.
Squadrons.
Yeah,
Oh,
Squadrons.
that'll come, right,
Yeah,
soon?
that will come. Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
can't
That'll
wait.
be, give it a few months and I'll be on there for free.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're not there at the exact window, but you're fine with that, you know? Like, we'll get these games for free. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't mind waiting for EA games to come out.
Yeah, I don't mind
Because I feel
either.
like they kind of lost their luster a little bit over the years.
They haven't really launched a game that's like a must-have game, right, in a while,
Yeah.
right? Lots of okay games, but not any must-have games. Oh, and also for the Game Awards, I definitely think we'll see more Far Cry 6 there, too.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot
I
about
think we'll
Far
see
Cry.
more
Yeah,
Far Cry
we
6
got
at the
to,
Game
right?
Awards,
Another
yeah.
trailer.
Because
Yeah.
when's the release? When's the release on that game?
The rumor is, I think, April
April?
26th, I think,
I
something
figured
like
it was
that.
like first quarter or something like
Yeah, late first, maybe early second
that. Okay,
release. I can't wait for that one either, man.
Nice.
Dang,
Yeah,
it's gonna,
for sure.
it's gonna be
That would
good.
definitely be nice. But yeah, I'm hoping to see what this Starfield is looking like,
Yeah.
you know, on this. So
That's a great
that would be
prediction.
interesting.
If Phil
Good
Spencer's
prediction.
already playing it, then they got to have something to show, man. Come on. That might be a good time. Since Xbox likes to have a big footprint there, too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope, man.
So in the comments, guys, let us know what you think is going to come out. Because it's coming December 10th, right? That's when
December 10th.
December 10th.
Okay, so
So
next week. Yeah,
still got a
so
couple days. So yeah, let us know what you
Thursday,
guys
I think. So I'll
we'll
be
see-
watching it, man.
We'll see who's right. You know, drop a what is it, a guess
Prediction
an
down
educated
below.
guess down in
Yeah.
there, yeah, and see who wins.
Tell us your predictions.
Yeah, for sure. So that's all we got for this week. So again, we'd like to thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And until next week, we'll catch you later. Deuces.
Peace.
I love you, me.